Got us a new fuel pump. So we're gonna get this one off and get this back on and get its first run going. Okay, it's obviously not daytime anymore. I got that pump off and put the one that Ozzy gave me. Well, tried to put it on. We had major clearance issues. Not here. I've made it so the carburetor would tip up to clear the head. I noticed that was a thing on a lot of the videos that other people were doing, but it would hit the intake manifold. So apparently there are different pumps depending on if you have an alternator or a generator, and we have a generator. It has not been converted yet. So we went back to Ozzy's. He had the correct other style pump. So we'll get back to it. So the instructions, which are apparently written in Spanish or whatever they speak in Brazil, because I'm pretty sure this is from Brazil. That's what it says on the pump. Anyway, we're supposed to pack them with a little bit of grease, so that's what we've done. We'll get that set on. Good old Lucas Red and Tacky. Okay, let's see if this bad boy will fire up. Hopefully the pump's pumping. That's a good sign. I think we are pumping. It wouldn't have run that long just on a little squirt. Still not sure we're getting fuel pumping. Might have to call in an audible to Audi and see what's going on. Okay, so I'm gonna check the fuel filter at the front and see if it looks like it's clogged up. But then I've detached the feed to the bowl. We're gonna crank it over with no ignition and see if we can get some fuel in that bottle. So I think what we have is, I want to show you this. See that fuel filter? I had manually pulled some fuel into that bowl, and then I put a second fuel filter on here because the tank we weren't able to get super clean. But I think it might not be the pump, it might be a clogged fuel filter. Look at that bad boy. Yuck. So we'll get another fuel filter and see if we can't get fuel pumping from this tank, catch some more debris. Okay, it's nighttime. I got Rem working on getting the rear wheels on just temporarily so we can get that center big nut undone because it's too tight to try to get off without the weight of the car holding the wheel. And that's how we're gonna finish that rear, the rear brake. I'm having a brain fart. The rear brakes, getting them cleaned up, but changing out the rear wheel cylinders. And In the meantime, like this morning, I'm gonna work on changing out a fuel filter, which we have right here. So, got us a new fuel filter, but in between doing that, I wanna make sure this pump, the new one, is pumping. So I got some extra hose. We're gonna feed it into a fresh can of gas. So it's just pulling straight out of a gas can and make sure it's pumping into the bottle. So we're gonna do that right now. Okay, Rem, go ahead. All right, go ahead and turn it, and when it starts, let off. We're almost there. All right, quick recap. Just got done venting to Remington so I could get all the curse words out with him. So, you're welcome. This is a family-friendly channel. My family knows that I use colorful language, so I'm working on that. But why won't our stuff work when I work on it? Why every step of the way does it have to fight me? So here's what we've done. We checked the fuel pump. I called Ozzy twice. I said, hey, I've worked on mechanical fuel pump cars before, but usually when you crank the motor over, it sucks fuel and squirts it, right? Small block 350. Maybe there's something I don't know about air-cooled Volkswagens. I don't know, so I call him. He says, no, it sucks very little. It just very lightly. Okay. So I go up to the front. I changed the front filter because it looked like it had gotten some sediment and debris in it, but it was flowing through it, so that was weird. Then I do what he says. He says, fill the float bowl up all the way. Make sure your accelerator pump's working. It is. We start the car on a full float bowl. The car runs awesome. There's the video. Running awesome for, I did it 3 float bowls full. Basically a 16-ounce bottle of fuel, almost 1.5 of those. And it never pulled fuel up from the tank. He says it's got to be running the engine, pushing that thing. Okay, maybe it has to pump really fast, and he's like, it might every stroke go 1/4 of an inch. Great, we'll run the motor. Should have come up by now. So what we're gonna do is we're going to pull the line again, blow it backwards towards the carb, not into the carb. I'm gonna blow it into a bottle in case there's crap. Fingers crossed it's just something in the line and the pump is not able to pull the fuel past it. And we'll clear that line. Then we'll have the gravity feed and the light pumping. Should be good to go. That's the plan. Let's try it. Right?
Yep.
Rem is a man of few words, but when we get him talking, we're going to get him to open up. You're going to subscribe to this channel. You're going to tell your friends about this channel because of all the personality this freaking kid has. He's freaking hilarious. But you get him in front of a camera, clams up. Okay, we'll work on Remington. All right, so while I am working on our fuel fix solution, hopefully, I got Rem working on some beautification of our hubcaps. We did one of them with green Scotch-Brite and some soap. I think they turned out pretty good. We'll put a little more elbow grease maybe into it, but these are gonna look real sharp on our freshly painted wheels. It's hard to hold the camera. Sorry for the shaky cam, but anyway, that's what Rem's gonna be doing while I'm doing this. So, what I explained was this front fuel line. We clamped it off from the tank. I let it go. It is running out. It's not plugged up in the filter. That line goes down the chassis and back to our motor. My theory is because fuel is gravity feeding from this filter just fine, running right out, there's a situation where the pump is not pulling it from through this line. So I'm going to air up the air compressor. We are going to force feed down the line that goes down the chassis. I've disconnected our fuel filter, which also has some sediment in it, which makes me think there's probably some crap in that line. So we're gonna blow it in to this and hopefully have nice, fresh, clean lines, and then our pump should work. So that's the plan. 150 PSI. We're just gonna give it a couple of love taps. It's kind of forcing it back, which makes me think it might be plugged pretty good. So okay, we definitely have a ton of crud coming into that line, so that's probably what our problem is. So we're gonna squirt some lubricant down the line and keep pushing air through that. Now we've blown through it with some carb cleaner and some motor fog. Then I hooked up the fuel line and I think we've got success. It is flowing fuel down that line, gravity. So whatever, which is all that crap in the bottom, was plugging it up. I think we're good to go now. Want to see something funny? So I put Remington on a job. I think this is teenagers in general. Watch this. I'm pretty sure he's just got his earbuds in. Hey Remington, how's it going? Yeah? Okay. So, can you hear me now? Hey, thanks bud. How many girlfriends do you have? None yet? Okay. Yeah, he ain't hearing a dang thing. But check this out. So the fuel filter is now full of fuel and it is gravity feeding through there. I'm gonna take it off one more time and push air through it and just make sure we got everything out, run some good gas through that line, and then we'll hook it back up, see if we can get her to start. Okay, that bottle was perfectly clean and clear when I hooked it up and we blew back through the line. My guess is that's why that fuel pump couldn't pull anything. That is a lot of crud. Probably was definitely blocking it. So we're gonna blow back through it one more time, hook it up, let it gravity feed, hook up the pump, fill up the bowl, should be good to go. That right there, folks, is why you install a quality Napa Gold inline fuel filter. All of that would have ended up in our float bowl and in our carburetor and in our brand new fuel pump. That's the one closest to the carb. So it all caught it in there. Shouldn't have come out any in there. I don't know how many microns this goes down to, but I think we saved ourselves. So we're gonna put a new one on now that we've blown all that back through the line. This is all sludgy stuff from the line. So I think we're gonna be in good shape once we get this installed. Okay, kind of the moment of truth. I think we're all cleared out. We got new filters in, got fuel in here. I'm gonna have Cooper, who's with us now after basketball practice, go ahead and turn it over till it starts. Go ahead, bud. What I'm looking for is fuel to be coming from that side. I don't see anything yet. You would think that the gravity would feed it here, but maybe it's plugged up again. So back to the drawing board of pushing and clearing. All right, so for the purpose of wrapping up this video, I want to keep these videos right around single digits if possible, right around 10 minutes. Just because I feel like when I'm watching videos, that's the kind of videos I click on, is ones that I can kind of get through in 10 minutes. So we're gonna bite these off in 10-minute chunks. I'm gonna pull this fuel pump out again. I talked to Ozzy on the phone. He's gonna have me measure the fuel pump rod that drives the actuation of it, and that's where we're gonna go. Then we're gonna finish up some other stuff, but you'll see that. So Ozzy said this push shaft for the pump, for my style of pump, should be 108 millimeters. So we're gonna take this dial caliper out to 107.34. So there you have it. See if it's cockeyed at all. Nope, dead center. 107.34. So it's probably a 108 millimeter shaft. Just under a millimeter short, so we'll call them and find out what we need to do. Okay, we're all buttoned up. Thank you, Napa. New fuel pump that's rebuildable. Cute little breather filter. Thank you, I believe it's J-Dubs. We'll see. Was it J-Dubs? Whatever it is, it's empty. But I think it was from J-Dubs. Yeah, J-Bugs. Sorry, J-Bugs. For our air cleaner. Let's see if she'll start up as easy as she has been. I just working out the kinks. It's kind of hard to video and do it all. Oh yeah, she's a runner. Be running quite good. So thank you so much for watching. Please like, subscribe, and share if possible. Comment below if you like longer videos, shorter videos. Comment below on anything you liked or didn't like. We'd love to put out some good content. So thanks. Talk to you later.